knitting.
I hadn't started my...
It feels so weird to be knitting after not knitting for the past couple of days.
I know. We haven't had time.
No.
We haven't had time to work on projects. This is crazy. Yeah.
So
Probably just shook the camera again. Okay.
You keep, well, maybe because it's now a little bit further away
Maybe
from
it's
the table.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi!
Hello! That's where I probably displaced in our little Sun Dragon sideshow. Yay! Welcome to Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Mm-hmm. And the instant I sit down and be on camera, my nose itches.
Of course. Note to self, quit itching your nose.
I should really try not to, but then it gets worse and it gets more annoying. Okay, Adventures of Liz and Rebecca. If you've been watching this whole time, you know who's Liz and Rebecca, but we keep introducing ourselves anyway. So
I'm Liz. I'm the main unit Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
And I'm Rebecca. I am the shop owner at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina. And we are keeping our podcast going as long as we can. We were just talking about how we don't have a lot of progress on projects to show you right now because we've been so busy.
That's where actually, this is where I stopped when we finished filming on Tuesday.
Right there? Yeah.
And I haven't touched it.
I'll show you. We're doing our papillons first. I did one more section. I was on this bubble. I got that done on Tuesday. I got this bubble done last night. So if you go back and look at our old video and then look at this one, and because it's becoming so scrunched on the needles, it's hard to tell. There's a little bit of progress, just a little bit, but not much. And here's the other thing is that I'm gonna get y'all ready for a slight adjustment that I'm gonna be making in my appearance moving forward because it's easier and more sanitary and everything else. I was saying to Liz, I don't consider myself a vain person. I could be totally wrong. But this morning I was like, oh, I'm having a good hair day. Because it's so much easier at the shop and in life in general right now not to have your hair down. And so I'm sure my pigtails are going to end up in weird places on my head. But I'm going to put my hair up so y'all can get used to seeing me with pigtails. Because some version of that is probably going to be me moving forward. And seeing my natural hair color as it grows out. And how much gray...
I offered her a box of hair dye. She doesn't want black or burgundy.
Well, I've done burgundy before, but I'm just not sure. So, shout out to my hairstylist, Brett Tucker. I love him. Can't go see him right now. And I hope he will forgive me if I decide to start doing box dye again for a little bit. Or I could just let it go au naturel. How about... Relatively okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like when we were moving the shop, but some of those days were like so dressed down days that we wouldn't.
I'm dressing down as we go. I'm not expecting Liz to dress down or dress differently because this is what's most comfortable for you.
Dressing down for me is wearing the same pants that I normally wear under my dresses, with a nerd shirt that's generally got paint on it. So,
well, I was going to say. That let me know in the comments what you think. Should I let it go au naturel and you get to more see my true age because I'll have gray in my hair? Or should I dye it? I'm sure everyone's going to have different opinions and different thoughts on this, or just say, do whatever you want. So, you made a noise like you had something to say.
No.
No, never mind.
No, I know. I should wear, it's kind of like bad humor, but I should wear my Black Death European tour t-shirt sometime.
That takes on worse humor now, doesn't it?
It does. Gosh. It's still my favorite t-shirt, but a dead rat.
I keep saying this. I'm going to post this on Facebook at some point. At this point, I kind of wish if I had to live through a post-apocalyptic or end of times movie, why couldn't it have been zombies?
Zombies are easier to spot.
Zombies I can see coming and hide from. And like The Quiet Place, we can all go. And then, by the way, I never saw The Quiet Place. We can all go. Anyway, so we don't have a whole lot of progress to talk about. We she's counting. We might talk a little bit about things we want to do or things we can show off a little. We don't want it to overlap like a crap ton with the new playlist we're starting, which is more about QVC type, like let's show off yarn and let's talk about specifics. And we want to keep this us, you know,
Yeah.
or more entertaining. So no one has suggested a topic for us, so we're probably going to ramble a little bit today again. But that's okay.
Rambling seems to work for us.
Rambling seems to work. I couldn't figure out what to wear this morning. I said, "Oh, I need a thing. I need something to throw around my neck." And we're looking around and looking around. There's tons of stuff in the shop, by the way. I just can't make up my mind.
Okay.
But problems?
Well, counting is hard.
Counting is hard, especially when we're talking at the same time. Math is hard. Well, it's not, but it feels
Knit 113, wrap and turn. Knit 6, make 1. Yeah, if you wrap and turn before the middle, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Papillon, helpful hints, maybe another time. But yeah, make ones in the Papillon should only be happening at the edges or on either side of the center stitch. If that happens somewhere else, you got wonky. Got to figure it out. I had a stitch jump. I had 9 and 11 between my 10s last night, and I figured it out, but I have no idea how it happened. I think I was just really, really tired. What?
Yeah, I can't count to 100. I was 10 short.
I told you all about the time I was trying to count by 10s and I kept skipping 70, right?
I'm going to put this down and go to my other project.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
Which is really fun
It is.
and less of a I need to count a whole lot right now. So what is this, Liz? No one's seen this one on camera. I
don't think anybody's ever seen this even in real life. No, maybe I brought it to Knit Night once or twice.
Okay.
So this, if I can find out which side of the knitting my yarn is on, which side of the yarn my knitting is on.
You start to talk like me.
Every now and then. So this was yarn I've been dying to buy, not from you, but
That's okay.
yeah. It's my maiden name is Milburn, and this is Milburn yarn. Like the name of the yarn is Milburn. So
That's cool.
I couldn't pick a color out of like all the. Oh my gosh, it's got some of
That's
the most
not a thing.
awesome,
Not being able to pick a color.
awesome
It's
colors.
Not a thing.
So I like scrappy
Uh-huh.
looking stuff anyway. So I bought, I don't know, 8 colors or 6 colors or whatever. They came in 50-gram balls. And I broke them all up into anything from 5 to 10-gram balls, like hand-balled. So I have a bag of little balls. And so the way I've been doing this is when I get tired of a color or reach the end of a color. Right now the sections are so small that I generally get tired of a color first. I can reach blindly. I'm not looking.
She did this before the camera was on.
Into the bag.
Hey, look, it's the same color.
It is the same color.
Was on. But there's a bunch of those balls
There's
in
a
there.
bunch of, yeah. There's like 3 of each color. So I can just reach blindly and then I just attach it and I overlap it. So you can do whatever you want because it's scrappy. It doesn't really matter how it looks. Eventually I won't get across a whole row with
Yeah,
because
because this will keep getting bigger with every row, right? It's a triangle shawl.
Yeah, it's a triangle shawl. Of course it's a triangle
Of course it's
shawl.
triangle shawl. It's Liz.
Yeah. So lots of ends to weave in, thus wearing a magnet so I can not put needles in my mouth.
There you go.
But anyway.
And so Liz planned this. She bought yarn for this. And we would be shamelessly plugging to buy yarn from us for this. But it's also a really great way to use up your stash. If you've got a lot of leftovers from projects. you know,
People that only buy one project at a time.
mystify us.
Well, it mystifies us, but also a lot of them are left with tiny little amounts of yarn. And then what do I do with that? And there are patterns on Ravelry, lots of patterns actually, that scrappy, stash busting, scrap yarn.
Keywords to put into Ravelry.
Any of those, they'll come up. Some of them are take 115 skeins of sock yarn and do a ginormous rug for your kids' playroom. Nobody wants to do that. But there's lots of like hand warmers.
Yeah.
Or
Different size projects.
Yeah,
Pick a project
shawls.
that you want to do right now. You know, if you want one that's going to take a while, pick a bigger project. If you want something that you can say, yes, I've finished, pick a smaller project. We are big advocates of having more than one project going at a time. And not necessarily 100 like Liz. Are you still at 100?
Yes, because I haven't finished anything.
Yay, where's the this is our finish bell, but I'll still ding it because she hit that mark. Even in normal times, I was a really big fan of maybe have at least 2. Have one that's more of a challenge if you want it, and then have one that's more what we would call mindless knitting. So you can go back and forth. You can go, okay, I'm trying this out and it's stressing me out. I need to take a break. It needs to go in timeout. And I'll do the one that's easier. And then when the easier one gets monotonous and boring and you're like, I want to pluck my eyeballs out, you can go back to the one that's more of a challenge. Take it to the level that you are comfortable keeping track of and knowing where you are on them. I have stuff at home in bags that I have no idea what I was doing and what point I was on in it. Luckily, since it's not yarn from the shop, I can't touch it anymore anyway. So, you know. I was going to talk about this is the thing I picked to wear that I was eyeing, and then Liz said, why don't you wear it? And I was like, this could be an example of a mindless knit. It is mostly what we call stockinette.
If you like stockinette.
Which is knitting on one side and purling on the other. So all the V's are showing on one side. There's a little bit of a border. What you usually do, because that curls. That's going to curl into a tube if you just let it. And what you usually do to keep that flat is you do a little bit of garter, like a lot of knitting or a stitch pattern with some texture on the edges. And this is so floppy that even with the texture on the edges, if I just hold it up, it's a tube. Essentially, it's a tube. But it's not complicated. And it's straight scarf, straight knitting, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Took 2 skeins of this yarn, which I'll grab a couple balls of in a second. It is Lang Splash. I was like, Lang Wool? No, Wool Addicts is a different line of theirs. Lang Yarns Splash. Came out last year or the year before. The first round of colors, it's cotton, so it's light and airy for the warmer temperatures we're heading into. It says it's cotton and acrylic, and I really think the acrylic are the bubbles of color that are in here. And the bubbles of color will get closer together in the yarn and then spread further apart. So there's parts of this yarn, if I move it along, that have not a lot of bubbles. And then there's parts of this yarn that have a ton of bubbles. You could probably knit every row with this, do what we call garter, and still have some really cool effects. I think another local yarn shop I've seen, they published a pattern to go with this that was more of a lace work, like a yarn over knit 2 together. The first round of these yarns, they all were pretty much white background with different colors of bubbles. But the cool thing was, if you were paying attention, the background of the white kind of has tones the same as the bubbles. So this one with the green and yellow, you've got a little bit of green and yellow going on in the background. And then the new colors that came out this spring,
And we're back. A phone call knocked us off.
A phone call knocked us off. I should really have the do not bother on, and I don't. And I didn't put it on now, so we might get knocked off again. At least from filming my tips and tricks, I know that happens, and we didn't just keep talking. But it gave me a chance to go and get Splash. So this is the yarn that made this. And this was another yarn from that same first run of colors. So they're both white, but you can tell the white has a different tone to it. And then these, I mean, I'm delving into the QVC moment right here, but oh well.
It's okay.
These are the new colors. See, there's not a lot of bubbles on this, but there is further inside. These are the new colors for the new season. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Amazing.
These we sell for $21.75 a skein. 2 skeins can make you a scarf. 1 could make you a cowl. when they first published this, they published like sweater patterns with it, with like 6 balls or more. And the drape was gorgeous and they looked lovely. And I said, that's lovely if you don't have a tummy. I got a tummy. It's going to show off my tummy. So I made a scarf. So that's the fun thing I'm wearing today and not getting overheated with, which is great. If I have any time and energy after the day's done today, I will. I'm still trying to finish my sweater. I can't wait to finish my Soldatna and actually like wear it for y'all. That would be so much fun.
That'd be awesome.
But we have to fulfill orders today, hopefully, and I have to apply for an SBA disaster relief loan, hopefully. And I want to get our website up and running for everybody. So if I can make that work, there's some glitches right now to how many items I can put online. If I can make that work, some of you who are watching from further away might be able to order stuff from us more easily that way. Right now, what we're doing is call the shop, email the shop. We will start to work out details. We can do virtual conferencing to help you pick out stuff. And then last step is to, over the phone, get your credit card info and run it and ship it out the next day. So if we did stuff online, that might take out a couple steps in the process. But we will always be here if we have time and energy to help you select colors, to help you talk through that. That's the kind of thing you really can't get from just a random online shop.
Yeah.
We will always back up our online shop with one-on-one conferences. What we've been finding, though, that we hang up the phone, it rings again. Again, good problem to have. I used to hate that phrase.
I almost started answering the phone with, congratulations, you finally made it through.
We've had people who said we tried all day and we couldn't get through.
Yeah, and there were other people that called one time and just happened to pick.
Just happened. We had people who said, I got a dial tone. I've forgotten what that is. The busy tone. Not the dial tone.
The busy signal.
Yeah. Busy signal. They're like, I haven't heard that in ages. Because our shop here has a landline. And there's no way to leave a voicemail when we're on the phone with someone else. So what I'm telling people is email us, Rebecca@sundragonartandfiber.com. We'll try to get back to that. My emails are stacking up too. So I would be patient with us, or the flip side of also in being patient with us, harass us if you don't hear back from us, because we're trying. We're really trying. We've got a moment right now. But as soon as we already had someone call the shop at 9:30, and we were trying to get this going, so we didn't answer the phone. Sorry if that was you. Call back between 10 and 5, all right? Yeah. I realized I finished my last crochet project, the Falling Blossom Shawl. So I need to do another crochet project, because we got to keep both the knit and crochet stuff going on this. And one of the yarns that came in is called Berroco Liana. And it's yummy summer yarn. We might hit this up in the QVC too. I won't give too much like details, but it's a linen and viscose or nylon blend where the colors will take at different times. And should explain that more. The colors will take to the different textures in different ways. So it's got what she said. And there's a lot of tops in the pattern book that they sent us, and they sent us a shawl, which is gorgeous. It's actually on your chair, Liz, if you have a second to hold that up. But while she's getting that, they have a crochet top in here, and it's gonna take a bajillion skeins because they're little 50-gram skeins, but I think I'm gonna make it so I can show you all how pretty it is.
This is the shawl. We only have one skein left of the light stuff. The light stuff.
Which is the color that this crochet top is made in the book.
I like this because they put a crocheted border on it.
So that's
a very
knit and
simple,
crochet. Mm-hmm.
Just crocheted chained border. It's super simple.
Yeah, that took 7 skeins of yarn, 3 of one color, 4 of another. This one's probably going to take me 7 skeins because crochet eats up more yarn than knitting.
About a third more.
So if I can get this on the hook, I will show some of that off too. But it all depends on if we have any energy after we're dealing with stuff to do things. I used to go home and like bust out stuff. I'd go home and to de-stress, I would knit and I would make lots of progress, and I'd come in here and deal with customers and Liz would decide how busy she was or how many hours she'd worked.
Based on how much knitting I got done for the day. Like,
if you did a lot of knitting, you'd be like, I didn't work that much today.
I haven't gotten any knitting done really in a week.
Who would have thought a global pandemic would
equate to tourist season in the summer? Like,
although I mean it's different. I mean we're not saying we're like, oh my gosh, business is so much better now that no one can come in the shop.
It takes longer.
It takes longer. Yeah. And because we value the experience we want to give you, and we want to take our time and make sure you get the right thing.
It's been great, but like when in the summer when it gets busy, we can have 15 people in the shop and most of them can fend for themselves.
They can, they're self-regulating, they're asking questions, sometimes they have to wait.
Yeah.
But they're looking through colors while we get someone else started.
Yeah. And virtual shopping, while it's awesome during these times, it's pretty much one person at a time.
Yeah.
Get them, either, hey, we'll send you pictures or whatever, and
or
then
we'll video conference with you. But it's
just a little bit. It's different.
It's different. It's been wonderful to hear people's voices and to see people on screen. That's been excellent because we don't have the physical connection anymore. But it takes a while. So we've appreciated. We've gotten some gift card purchases and some donations, and thank you all. We really appreciate that. Things to keep us going. We'll keep you all updated on how the shop is going. We keep saying we're going to keep doing this as long as it's safe to do so. We really have limited our contact with anybody else. So for now, we feel it's okay to do this. We could get a stay-at-home order, which means we can't be with each other to do this anymore. But I said the last one, I'm like, I think it'd be kind of funny. We'll provide our own comic relief in that we'll try a Zoom recording.
Yeah.
Which means it'll flip back and forth between us, and it will be a comedy of errors. Look for that in the future, because I'm sure at some point is going to happen.
At some point, yeah.
So, not a whole lot of patterns to share today, but just a couple things to talk about. There goes the phone already, because guess what? It's after 10.
It's after 10.
So,
love you guys.
We're going to sign off right now. Thanks for joining us today. We'll get this video up as soon as we can. Maybe I'll give us a topic next time. All right? Love y'all. Stay safe.
I walked all the way across the shop in almost record speed to answer to verify your Google listing, please press 1 now.
Yeah, life.